this is now the third time you've been part of redistricting?
I wouldn't say I was much of a part of it the other two times, okay? The other two times, here's your district, take it or lump it. I ran first time in 1992, a newly drawn district. The Republicans sued over that plan and won, but lost because we already ran in the 92 election cycle. So the court said, sure enough, what y'all ran on last time was unconstitutional. We'd already run, by the way. So you have to redraw for 1994. In 1994, they took 5 precincts away from me that I'd won 2-1 and gave me 4 that Bill Clinton had won in, which you have to search for in Sullivan County in 1992. And so to say I was a part of that is a stretch, to say the least. In 2002, it was so obvious that when you had Sullivan and Johnson County together, that's a perfect Senate district at that time. You couldn't go in Virginia, you couldn't go North Carolina. Again, here's your district. And of course, let's be honest about this. At one time, Johnson County was the most Republican county in the nation, so it didn't bother me to take that. But to say that I was involved the other 2 times is a huge stretch.
What I was trying to get to was, can you talk a little bit about the politics that are at play? I mean, this is supposed to be, drawing these fair districts, but obviously, there's politics in play, and you guys are in charge. And can you just kind of talk a little bit about that?
Absolutely, we're going to do everything fair and legal. I can assure you that's the case. So we're looking at lines as closely as we can. There are certain things, for example, I think in Shelby County, the African American population now, there's enough for 3 majority minority districts. The federal courts say we have to do that when we do it, so I think that's something we'll do. And then you take into consideration where the population shifts have been. For example, the Democrat areas are usually the ones that lost population. You look at that, it's just factual. There's nothing we can do about that. The Republican areas are the areas that gained population. So we'll draw things fair and legally, but it would be almost impossible to draw a district in the state of Tennessee that didn't shift some from Democrat Republican simply because the demographic change in this state, and still doing it fair and legal.
Andy Burke said the other day you should have had those plans out, though, for discussion in May or June and let the public look at them.
Good for Andy Burke.
You disagree? You disagree?
Good for Andy Burke.
Thank you very much.